Welcome back to the boxing world. In 2001, the famous Prince Naseem Hamed collected every available semi-lightweight title. He owned the belts of WBC, IBF, WBO, and the title of Ring Magazine, which was rapidly gaining popularity among the major versions.
When I say I'm supreme, people just laugh. Now, what are they going to say when I become world champion? That was a beautiful workout. Oh, baby, I'm feeling so good.
He won this title in a fight against Wilfredo Vasquez Sr. in April 1998. In fact, Hamed was supposed to own the WBA belt, which belonged to Wilfredo at the time of their fight. But the World Boxing Association did not authorize a unification fight. Hamed defeated Vasquez ahead of schedule and became the absolute leader of the division. The situation was worsened by the separation of Naseem from his longtime coach, Brendan Ingle. Hamed began working with the famous Emanuel Steward. But this wasn't a smart student-coach tandem. Steward is a dictator. He always left the last word for himself. Hamed was his own boss. He obeyed only Ingle. And when his bank account amounted to $40 million, then listening to anyone was simply unthinkable for the prince. Hamed reached the point where he was required to face a couple of big names in the sport. His record was perfect. 35 wins, 31 of them by knockout, with no defeats at all. The seriousness of the beaten opposition left no doubt. Kevin Kelly, Wilfredo Vasquez, Tom Johnson, Vuyani Bungu, Cesar Soto, Paul Ingle, Manuel Medina, and Steve Robinson. He beat all his rivals, but a big fight was needed with the superstar of world boxing. Steward immediately rejected the option of meeting with Juan Manuel Marquez, considering that the style of the Mexican was too inconvenient for Naseem. However, he gladly accepted the option of fighting with another Mexican, Marco Antonio Barrera, who, for the sake of this fight, was ready to give up his WBO title in the second bantamweight and come to a new higher category. Protracted negotiations lasted almost a year. During this time, Hamed had a spectacular battle against the promising Augie Sanchez, who won the amateur ring of Floyd Mayweather himself. Naseem visited the floor from Sanchez's left hook, but was able to knock Augie out with a striking combination in round 4.
And once again, you see the awesome punching power of Prince Naseem Hamed. And that's going to be the end of the fight. Ring doctor into the ring. Mike Ortega there before they can start a count.
I want Barrera next. I'm gonna knock him out, and I'm gonna make history and bring it back to Sheffield, bring it back to England. Whoop, there it is.
The main problem remained the mood and preparation of the prince. Gone are the days when he worked tirelessly in Brendan Ingle's gym. Training was no longer the main program of the day for him. Before the fight with Barrera, a serious problem arose. He was 35 pounds overweight. He has to do a lot more work. A displeased Emanuel Steward told the media before the fight between Naseem and Marco Antonio.
Say to Naseem.
Yes. Yeah, he would have a lot more fans, let me tell you. You would have a lot more fans if you wouldn't be so cocky and such an asshole. Yeah, because you
He's undefeated! Undefeated! Undefeated!
3 rounds for Nas, the king, the daddy, the mother of all. Thank you very much. Thank you. Hamed.
The meeting with Barrera was scheduled for April 7, 2001. Hamed was supposed to receive a fee of $8.5 million. Marco Antonio received a more modest fee, but still a record for him, $1.8 million. Naseem was a favorite at the rate of 3-1. Boxing experts in America were even more judgmental in their assessments. Of the 38 respondents, 28 were inclined in favor of Naseem's decisive victory.
Heavyweight champion of the world, boxing's royalty, Prince Naseem Hamed.
Allahu Akbar. Allah is the greatest. Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu anna la ilaha illallah. Wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam.
Naseem's colorful entrance was overshadowed by a crushing first round. Barrera has clearly repeatedly watched the extreme duel of Hamed against Augie Sanchez. He was assembled in his defense. He stood in his classic balanced stance and punched the same homework, the right straight or side into the chest and then smashing the left hook into the head. Barrera proved the effectiveness of this combination throughout the battle. The logic is simple. The first blow to the chest area fettered the Prince's strongest left hand, which made it possible to freely break through with the left hook. Having ambushed this series and having treated Naseem with several exact jabs, the Mexican took the first round. However, shaking Hamed is only half the battle. In the second round, Naseem went ahead but again ran into Barrera's crown combination. In one of the episodes, the Prince dropped the Mexican with a wrestling trick, which angered his opponent very much.
As Barrera is either pulled down by Hamed or pushes him down, Mark Ratner comes up onto the ring apron.
Hey, what responded? I don't want any raw tactics. Lo que no puede sucia, ¿entiende? No quiero descualificar a nadie. I don't want to disqualify anyone, you understand? All right, time in.
Into the ring. Hard left hand by Prince Naseem. The Prince is the aggressor. Right hand perfect.
The third round was a continuation of the second. Barrera twice got an effective blank, and Hamed accurately answered with a front right.
Wow, what are you waiting on? Barrera lands a jab. Prince Naseem grin.
In the fourth round, the Mexican again managed to shake his opponent with a left side and picked up the round.
Prince Naseem as smiling, but there's no question he was hurt by that left.
I have it 2-1 for Barrera.
However, in the fifth round, the pattern completely changed. The match became a tactical game, fought at a distance. It was a game of nerves. They were stronger in Barrera. He hit his crown combo twice. Having received advice from Stewart during the break, Naseem changed his stance. He got right-handed and acted very successfully, winning the sixth round. The Briton still could not turn the tide of the battle. The local audience spoiled the impression by mercilessly yelling at every blow from Barrera, creating a false impression of his advantage. It wasn't. But Hamed could do nothing with his assembled and psychologically prepared counterpart. Everything was equal until the 11th round, with Hamed winning the 10th.
Big left hook by Barrera.
The left hand, but he hasn't thrown anything with it. He's missed it. He's depending
Get
on
it done here. There's a big left hand. Barrera covering up.
In the 11th round, Barrera exploded. He slightly increased his speed and confidently took the round.
Be very focused and very well trained for Naz. Naz has got to try to land a big knockout punch
To turn it against him.
Naz will not come back with any shot that the Prince has developed since he was a boy.
And the 12th became a real benefit for the Mexican.
He's going for it. He's been on the wrong side of at least one decision here in Las Vegas.
He made the enemy falter. He punched precisely, but completely ruined the impression of a policeman wrestling technique, grabbing Hamed's arm for a kink. He hit his opponent on the ring stand. Joe Cortez quite rightly subtracted 1 point, but even this did not save Naseem. He lost the fight. He lost tactically. He himself understood this, and all three judges delivered a verdict in favor of Barrera, 116 to 111 and 115 to 112 twice. Hamed's undefeated record fell apart in this match. Everything will be different in the rematch, said Emanuel Stewart after the fight.
The 112, all for the winner by unanimous decision. Marco Antonio Barrera.
The possibility of revenge was indeed spelled out in the contract. Hamed himself expressed his desire, explaining his unsuccessful appearance by past injury to both hands. But the boxing world was never destined to see the second fight of the two great boxers. Nassim had just one more fight against a fairly average Spaniard, Manuel Calvo. He ended his career at the age of 28. He did not break. Hamed started too early, and such an early retirement had nothing to do with the defeat of Barrera. This was noted by the British champion himself. It's time. He could not train as hard as he did in his younger years, and made the right decision. Marco Antonio performed for a very long time. Ahead were victories over Eric Morales and Johnny Tapia, and a crushing defeat from Manny Pacquiao. In 2001, Barrera did his job. That night in Las Vegas, he was a little better than the Prince and deserved to win. It was a hard and close fight. I defeated Hamed. He is a great opponent. He is very fast and coordinated. Marco Antonio Barrera, 2012.
Can you tell us about your memories of your fight with Nazim Hamed?
I think so is my best fight because Nazim Hamed in the time is a destroyer, power, difficult style, and I come in, I boxer, I win, and he say, fight is beautiful sport, but he's good friend, but I think so is my best fight.
Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, please press the like button, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for new episodes about the great legends of the past.